Hello there, people. Sorry you're hearing a helicopter really quick. It's leaving. But, I am here to rank. Oh, let me grab my lighter. Um, to rank my most hyped movies of 2021. It will be 10, and I got like an honorable mention. I should have, like I said, I should have did this video probably earlier, but since it's still January, I can get it out. And tomorrow we will do part 3. Um, so of Friday the 13th. So let's get to it. My honorable mention, since this could easily this movie could easily be a drizzling shit. So my honorable mention is Spiral, which it's ironic. I'm not the big because this movie is based on the franchise of Saw that Chris Rock and I guess his production company or whatever is producing. So what made me was this film was supposed to come out last year. So some of my movies on here were technically supposed to be 2020 movies. But continuing on, and I'm not gonna go from 10 to 1. I'll start from 1. It doesn't matter because my 1 and 2 are gonna be my thumbnail for the video. So this movie was supposed to come out last year, and it basically was supposed to be around the Saw franchise. And I'll go really quick on what I think of the Saw movies. I like the first one, and I never saw the sequels. I think they should have only did 3. I think they went on too long and whatever. And Jigsaw was total dog shit. But this, with when I saw the trailer with Chris Rock and honestly shit, Samuel Jackson and Jigsaw killing cops, and I honestly think there's more to it. I like the premise. We'll see where it goes. But like I said, that's why I said it's an honorable mention. But I hope it's fun. I probably won't rush. Well, I can't see it in the theater anyway, but I'll watch it. So my number one is obviously Zack Snyder's Justice League. The 3 year wait for this. This was a film. All the behind the scenes. I was following the whole release, the Snyder Cut thing, and I'm not gonna lie. I'm really shocked because how long the Donner Cut was. But to be fair, I think that was partially because you got to remember when the Donner Cut of when that was filmed. This was in the 80s, but Superman 2 came out 80s. So, but I'm assuming this film was probably filming like 79. There's really no internet. So I think that's why, and even when it was released, which is in 2006, the internet wasn't was what it was now. Like you had social media, the whole Twitter movement for it, and whatever how you feel about Twitter, the whole movement for this, and I followed it was just awesome. And to see that we're finally here, because what we got in 2017 was a monstrosity. We're getting back to like that tradition. I hope if this does well, we're gonna get sequels, and we're gonna finally. There's two things. We're getting or Martian Manhunter is confirmed. So, and this is a different one where we know pretty much what's in this movie, because this is a movie that was filmed years ago. So, so we like know what's gonna be in this movie, and Darkseid's gonna be in it. It's gonna be awesome, and it's gonna be on HBO Max. But yeah, like I just finally we're getting an opportunity for a real Justice League movie, and that Ben Affleck will get redeemed. Same thing with Zack Snyder, because y'all know how I feel about Zack Snyder. I did a video about it, so I'm happy. I'm gonna probably do more videos when the Snyder Cut comes closer, so that's why I don't want to spend too much time on this movie. My number two is Halloween Kills. Um, this was another film that was supposed to come out last year. This was supposed to come out last October, but because it got delayed because of the whole COVID bullshit, so they had to delay it. So I'm hyped because they released like a trailer the day it was supposed to come out, and I'm really and there's like pictures coming out. This film, from a lot of the description, is gonna be super violent. They're upping the ante. There's gonna be a big death in it, supposedly. Um, I hope this film is good because I want this to show you can bring back franchises. There's a few things now that could show you you can bring back these old like franchises and not fuck it up like Star Wars did and a lot of sorts of other ones. But I I'm really happy and I hope they do this right. So it's supposed to come out October 15th. So I'm happy they're keeping the October release. I one thing I really hope there needs to be a big death in this. I want as much I get like y'all saw my Halloween 2018 review. I kind of want Laurie to die. As no disrespect to Jamie Lee Curtis, I don't. This Michael's too good to just be attached to Laurie, and I have a feeling they're not. So there needs to be a big death in this. Someone from that family. You know, it'd be a shock if they kill Allison. They're not gonna do it. I have a feeling if they're gonna kill anybody off, it's gonna be Karen. I think it's something. It's gonna be her. Sorry, we have once again stray cat back is in my backyard, but so but yeah, I'm so hyped for it. And I probably should mention when these movies are coming out. Zack Snyder's Justice League is there's it doesn't have a fully a date yet, but it's supposed to be in March. So I can't wait for March and October 15th. Um, Number three is Godzilla King Kong, which will be on HBO Max, and it will be theatrical. But since I'm in California, my state's closed thanks to a retarded governor. Um, can't go to the movies right now because this is one I want to see in the theaters. This is gonna be a visual spectacle. After, because I'll say this with the story with the legendary Godzilla movies, I didn't like the first one because how many times they cut away from the fight and all that. But King of the Monsters definitely made up for it. It was a visual spectacle, an eyegasm, if you will. I think that this is gonna be this on that on steroids. Like, it's gonna be an all-out fight. And I'm gonna be fair, like I said, like Friday the 13th, Godzilla. This film doesn't have to do a lot for me to be good. Just have cool monster fights. Have just cool. I don't. The human characters just make tolerable. I don't care. I'm not going in expecting an amazing plot with Godzilla movies. I'm going in to see monsters fuck each other up. That's all it needs to be. You have to do a lot to really fuck this movie up. So, and it's supposed to be coming out, I think March 26th, and it's gonna be on HBO Max. It sucks. I'm not gonna be able to watch this on the big screen because this is meant to be on the big screen. Um, but yeah, I'm super hyped for it, and I hope they do it right, and I think they will. I think they did King of the Monsters right, so they'll do this one right. Number four is Venom 2, which will be I think in June. I don't know the exact day, but it's supposed to be in June. I'm really I'll admit I didn't love the first Venom. I think what held it back was it should have been R-rated. Venom's an R-rated character, and what will make or break this one for me is if it's R rated. Because I am sorry, you cannot do a PG-13. Carnage is gonna be in this film, and that's why this is number four for me. This is gonna be the first time we get to see a cinematic Carnage. I hope they do this right. Because Carnage is one of my favorite Marvel villains, and man, if they fuck this up, and would I have probably went for Woody Harrelson personally? No, I like him as an actor, but I kind of would have went with someone a little younger. But man, Woody Harrelson can play crazy, especially if they get natural born killers. Fucking Woody Harrelson, I might be in. This needs to be R rated though. You cannot make this PG-13. I am sorry. I gave a pass slightly to the first one. This one you cannot. If you read Carnage comics or have seen Carnage in comics, he is not a PG-13 character. I hope we get cool fights, and I hope we do more with I think fucking because Tom Hardy is pretty good as Venom. I actually dig him as Venom. You know, we have a good cinematic Venom. I just wanted R ratings. I think that's what held back the first one for me. Was just it was not R rated. I hope they go all out in this movie because for me, if they do this right, because I'm over the MCU at this point. I don't unless it's Guardians. That's probably it for me with the MCU. I don't care. I might like I'm no if what like really quick side note. I checked out WandaVision. It was okay. I think I said it was meh. Like it was okay in the sense it's watchable, but it's not rewatchable. I'm not gunning to rewatch those 2 episodes. If episode 3 doesn't get me, I'm out. But yeah, so back to Venom. So Venom 2, if they do this right, Sony Marvel will probably be where I go for Marvel movies from now on. Because I need an alternative for Marvel for me movie wise. Because I can't just do the same old MCU. So Venom 2. But my fear is if they don't, the reason they won't make it R-rated because they are tying it potentially to fucking MCU Spider-Man, so they're gonna want to keep it PG-13 just to. That would be dumb if they do that, because Carnage, like I said, he's an R-rated character. You can't half-ass this. This is the first time we're getting a cinematic Carnage, and they need to take it seriously. So that's my number 4. My number 5 is The Suicide Squad, directed by James Gunn. I think it's supposed to be coming out in August. I'm pretty hyped for it. I didn't mind the Suicide Squad we got, even though we're getting calls for the air cut, which I'm all for because the one we got was okay, but you could tell they changed the tone. But that'll be another video. But for what it was, I was okay with it. But this time around, one thing I think this is the same kind of held back the first. This needs to be R-rated. This needs to be balls to the wall, R-rated. I like the cast. We saw not a trailer, but there was like bits of footage we were shown on a DC Fandom back in August of last year, where we saw like little snippets of it, and it looks pretty good. And the one thing they kind of are fixing Harley because I dig Margot Robbie as Harley, especially in the first Suicide Squad or Studio Squad, as some people have called it. But her and Birds of Prey, or what I call it, Birds of Shit. I they have fixed her. Like James Gunn, I will give him this. We are finally getting a Harley that, like, if you see her costume, actually looks like more Harley from the comics, or even if it's the newer comics, I'm cool with it. At least she looks like Harley, because I think Margot Robbie is not a bad Harley. I just think I don't know what the fuck she was smoking, or whoever was speaking of smoking. But now that Sylvester Stallone is confirmed to be in the movie, this movie, like I said, this can be a balls to the wall fun flick, and I think that's all it needs to be. So I'm pretty hopeful for that. Um, so that's my top 5. Now number 6 is the Mortal Kombat movie, which will be coming out in April. I like the world of Mortal Kombat. I haven't played all the games, I'll admit, but I think the world is there, and it's fucking destined. There's enough there that you can make a movie. And I like the 90s movie, the first one. It's cheesy as fuck, but it at least gets the core of Mortal Kombat right. Because that's the one thing a lot of video game movies just don't get right, is they just don't get the premise. They try to change it up, or but I hope they don't fuck this up, because this one with this new Mortal Kombat movie, if they do this right, could easily not just be the best Mortal Kombat movie, but the best like video game movie like we've had. Because if they just do this right, the only problem is one thing I've heard about the premise is apparently they're making some brand new character to go into the world. I think that's dumb, but like I said, it could be executed well. We'll see, but I don't know if I like that. You don't need to do that. You could easily just made Liu Kang or Johnny Cage or honestly Scorpion even one of the main characters. You didn't have honestly. You could have made it an ensemble thing because the world is big enough. You don't necessarily need to have a main character. But one thing though, this could do right. This could start spin-offs, a show on HBO Max. And like I said, there are things though I've heard that I'm really hyped. It's gonna be R rated. The gore is gonna be there, and then there's gonna be fatalities. So I hope the costumes are good too, because I'm a guy who likes to collect figures. I wouldn't mind if they do the costumes right. I'd buy figures from this. I just hope they don't fuck it up or woke it up or do put some PC shit. I don't. I hope they like, because like I said, this could be like the best video game movie we've had if they fucking do this right. My number seven is um Ghostbusters Afterlife. After the disaster that was shit, I refuse to call that movie we got in 2016 Ghostbusters, so I call it Shitbusters. Um, After that, I'm really liking. And we saw the trailer. This is another one that was supposed to be in 2020, but they delayed it because of COVID. So this one is now coming out in, I think it's the summer of this year. I don't. It's either June or July. Um, Being directed by Jason Reitman, who's the son of Ivan Reitman. After hearing Ivan Reitman said he cried at this, I hope it's not just some publicity marketing thing, because that honestly kind of brings it up for me. Now that kind of brings hope for me that this will be a great movie. You know, at least like it seems like there's care there this time around, because I'm just tired of these like Hollywood fucking movies just being like this new batch of it just being disrespectful to the original franchise. I don't want any more shit like I said, Shitbusters 2016, The Last Jedi, Dark Fate. I'm tired of this shit. That's why if you see me, why I'm so, why I love the new Jurassic movies or the new Halloween movies, or even most recently I started watching Cobra Kai, stuff like that. You can bring these franchises back. I hope Ghostbusters Afterlife is another example to show you if you do this right, people will give you the money, and you could start easily a new trilogy if you want with a new cast of characters. So number eight is Morbius, which we played by Jared Leto. I think that's another one. They delayed it to October. It was supposed to be like in March. They delayed it again, sadly. I'm really anxious for this movie. I think this was supposed to be another 2020 release that they delayed to 2021. I am really interested to see. This is like I said with Venom 2. I like Morbius as a character, and I also, like I said, I'm a big fan. For me, I like darker tone comic book movies. I just do. I'm just in general do. So I'm really hyped and see what they will do with it. And like I said, please make it R rated. Morbius is a fucking vampire. Go all out with it. And I also think Jared Leto got fucked by Warner Brothers because he didn't get to showcase his Joker. Because the amount of footage they cut out in Suicide Squad of him, he didn't get to showcase him. And now he's just known as a joke by a lot of people's eyes. And I think he gets an opportunity here, and I'm happy that Zack Snyder will put him in his movie to kind of showcase, this guy can go. So, because I do think he's a good actor, especially in like Fight Club. So I'm happy he gets a little bit of a chance here. So we'll see with Morbius. Number nine will be Mission Impossible 7. Um, and it's funny because this is another one. I'm not the biggest Mission Impossible fan. I like the first one. I dug Mission Impossible 3, but they're just movies I was okay with. But when Rogue Nation came out, I didn't watch it when it came out in theaters. I watched it like a year later with my friend, and I dug it. And then Fallout came out, and I remember wanting to really watch it because Henry Cavill was in it. And I'm a Henry Cavill guy. I really love him as an actor. So he was amazing in this movie. So was when we watched Fallout. I was like, this is how you do an action movie. Like, this is how you do it. Um, I really hope they do this right. I think they will, just because that's why I'm kind of hyped for Mission Impossible 7 now, just because of how well Fallout was done. I'm actually kind of cool with them doing enough, checking out the other one. So, I'm interested. I'm not like I'm going in blind. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know the story going in. I'm just gonna go in blind. My last one, my last most hype movie of 2021 is Top Gun, and this is another one I honestly consider putting it in honorable mentions, but because I like the original Top Gun, but for me, I like the 80s aesthetic. There are just some movies I don't know if I want a modern version of it because I just think there are just some movies the 80s aesthetic works better. Slashers are exempt because I feel like slashers are in their own way like urban legends. A lot of these characters, that's why like something like Halloween or Friday the 13th, you can do them decades later because all it is just a legend of a killer killing people. So you can kind of do a modern version of it. But for me, Top Gun just has that 80s aesthetic, but it is Tom Cruise. And Tom Cruise, the last, I would say, almost decade, his movies have been pretty much hits. I can't really think of a Tom, well, aside from The Mummy, but that wasn't his fault. That was not his fault why that movie was fucking trash. So it wasn't his fault with that. But mostly it been hits. You know, Edge of Tomorrow, um, Jack Reacher, a lot of the more recent Mission Impossible movies. He's done mostly good movies. So I'm really hoping this is another one where if you want to do a new generation of pilots and he trains them, I'm not against bringing in new characters, but I just want respect for these franchises. That's all I and a lot of other people ask for. It's just respect for these franchises. You know, I just hopefully this year can be kind of show, with stuff like I said, Halloween Kills, Top Gun, Ghostbusters Afterlife. You know, I want this year to be the year you can bring back these franchises and do them right. That's why I'm really hyped for Jurassic. And sadly, a movie that was supposed to come out this year but got delayed again was Jurassic World 3 because that would have been like my number two. But sadly, that got delayed. But like I said, I want this year to show you can bring back these franchises and be respectful to them. So I want Halloween Kills, Ghostbusters Afterlife, Top Gun. Um, that you can bring these franchises back and just do them right and with respect, you know. But other than that, guys, I just wanted to get that out there. My most hype movies of 2021. Tomorrow we'll do a Friday the 13th Part 3 review, and then probably Friday we'll do Friday the final chapter, which is Part 4. So other than that, guys, take one more puff on the way out. Talk to you guys.